Hello everyone, I'm Jed Shlackman. I work as a holistic counselor as well as a hypnotherapist and energy healer. In this video I'll be speaking about some things we can do to support or protect our health in the aftermath or in the wake of natural disasters. And part of the context of this is that different major disasters or events can release different kinds of contaminants and toxins into the environment, and those could have a major detrimental impact on our health. So if you think about what happens when there's some major flooding or damage from a hurricane or from fires or earthquakes, well, our human infrastructure gets damaged, and often that leads to the release of different chemicals, different things that are man-made, that are toxic and get into the environment, that can get into the water, into the food, into the air, into the soil. So when those environmental contaminants are released, it has an effect on our health. And a major disaster event often includes some significant release of those toxins into the environment. So if you think about, as an example, the floods that occurred recently in North Carolina in the mountains, well, those washed away some locations where some chemicals or even perhaps some nuclear materials were being stored, and that got into the water, it got into the environment. Then you have fires occurring, and fires burn everything in their path, whether it's just natural trees and brush, or it's buildings with electronics, with batteries, with chemicals, all kinds of things that we have, whether it's a residential or industrial building. The fire can release that into the air, and then it goes up into the atmosphere, it comes down to the ground, it gets absorbed in the rivers and the lakes. So it really gets all over the place and contributes to an increased load of toxic contamination in the environment. So we can be doing different things that help support and protect our health. In an acute phase of exposure, of course, you can be covering your body, wearing some type of mask, something to protect you from breathing and absorbing those chemicals. You'd obviously want to get as far away from acute exposure to those contaminants as you can. Then later you'll want to help support your body in its ability to detox and cleanse itself, and that's something that's happening in an ongoing basis. So we can be physically exercising, we can be sleeping well, we can be spending time out in the sunlight, so that infrared light helps our body with its cleansing processes. We can be eating a pretty clean, clear, balanced diet where we're avoiding toxic additives in the food, just eating more fresh whole foods, and especially lighter kinds of foods that are hydrating and cleansing, like fruits, vegetables, different herbs. And you want to also avoid intoxicating drugs, things that clog up your body, that add to the load of chemicals it's trying to clear out. So avoiding smoking, avoiding drinking alcohol, etc. If we're conscious of our lifestyle, we also want to be conscious of our emotional hygiene in a sense, or our psychological concerns. So we can take care of what we need to for our body to support balance and healthy functioning on the physical level. But if we neglect the emotional and mental level, then we'll create stress or toxicity that counteracts whatever cleansing efforts we're doing. So doing time to clear your mind, mindfulness and meditation, practices like yoga or Tai Chi to kind of stretch and lighten up, to get your energy flowing, doing spiritual practices for releasing emotional burdens, whether it's burdens of anger or resentment, burdens of grief, of guilt, of shame. All that emotional weight can constrict how things are functioning on our physical level and interfere with the detoxification. So the more light and clear you can be on one level, the more it helps you be light and clear on the other levels. If you can kind of shift your consciousness, if you cleanse your thoughts and emotions more, then your body is better able to cleanse itself, since that energy flow is more clear, more smooth and harmonious. And also, if you are conscious about a healthy lifestyle, if you help your body with its detoxing through exercise, through sleep, through a balanced whole food type diet, when you do that, then your mental and emotional functioning will often be improved, since your clearer, lighter body helps you feel more clear and light, which helps you think more clearly, more lightly and calmly. So it's a ripple effect going both ways, from the physical up into the psychological and spiritual, and also from the spiritual down through the psychological down into the physical. So we can address all those factors, and it's especially important when we've been exposed to some major toxic stress. We're talking in this video about environmental disasters and the toxic releases that can occur with those that could burden us. But there's other situations in life where the stress or toxicity is initiated from a psychological level, where someone is exposed to some form of psychological abuse, as an example. So in that case, you could still be addressing things on all levels, since psychological affects the physical and vice versa. Sometimes when people are traumatized, it's difficult to relax and sleep. It's difficult to meditate, to do practices that would be healthy and beneficial, and people kind of slip into harmful habits. They might slip into some addictive use of a drug. They might isolate themselves. They might start looking at pornography or gambling or doing something that's kind of grabbing their emotional attention, distracting themselves from some unpleasant reality in life. But in the long run, that just can add to or compound those challenges. So we want to be as proactive as we can to get into a healthy routine, healthy habits, and to make sure that we keep up with that, not only when it's in the aftermath of a disaster, but to make it just part of our life, that we would naturally want to be having a healthy lifestyle all the time. We would naturally want to let go of any emotional baggage. We want to release resentments. We want to let go of grief, of anxiety, of guilt or shame. We want to be able to be more present, more clear in the moment, and able to embrace life even when life is challenging. So for anyone that's going through challenges, whether it's the aftermath of some natural disaster or man-made disaster or any type of major exposure to toxicity, know that there are resources that can help you, that can enable you to release whatever stress or toxicity is getting built up, so you can kind of recover yourself, so you can get back into balance and harmony and have the energy to actually enjoy life and focus on the things you want to create or accomplish. For anyone looking for additional resources for holistic health and wellness, I invite you to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. For now, I wish everyone a wonderful, safe, and healthy day. Namaste.